Hello there, my friends. This is my favorite time of the year. September, October, November, and December. I love it because right now we have NFL football. The NBA is looming ahead of us. October brings us Halloween and then Thanksgiving and Christmas. And these seasons are different. They're set apart because there's actual music and movies and decor that you can do and add to your life that will bring you deeper into the season. So I figured, why not, over the course of the next few weeks, have a few videos where I show some of the albums that I like to put on during the spooky season to get myself ready, to set the mood and the ambiance and the tone of my life as we venture into Halloween. So please enjoy these 3 albums. I'll bring out more soon. And please do the same. We'd all love to know, what albums do you pop on when it gets closer to spooky season? Let's do this. All right, first off is from 1977, and this is a classic. Not his most famous musical score, but it's up there. John Williams and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now, this album, actually John Williams has said is his favorite work. It's super complicated. It's got some very, very intricate work on it. The theme of it is very popular. People know it, but that is not what really makes this album great to listen to and also kind of spooky. I mean, we are talking about a movie in which aliens communicate with humans via music. And John Williams captures that whole weird, odd, spooky, interesting, intriguing feeling all throughout this album. Now, what's neat about this, the 77 original press, is it came with an extra 7-inch. And this 7-inch is actually from an artist and producer called Meko, M-E-C-O. And he was very famous for doing a disco version of the Star Wars theme. So he carried that on, and he also did the Close Encounters of the Third Kind disco theme, and that came in the album. Let me tell you something. It sucks. I mean, you may think differently, but it's not good. I never listened to it. But the album itself, great, spooky, ethereal, just kind of, dim the lights, sit down and relax and put this on. And it just kind of takes you off into an outer space type of a somber, spooky, creepy mood. And I love it. Next up, we're going to 1978, 1 year later than Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And we're going to talk about this beauty, Some Enchanted Evening by Blue Oyster Cult. Now, this is actually their best-selling album, and it's a live album. Now, you might be saying, John, why would you pick a live album when you're talking about being spooky and setting the mood? Well, there's something about listening to live music that is recorded not in the greatest fashion, I guess you could say, when there's also a little bit of a dark tinge to the lyrics and the musicianship. So when I listen to this album and they play Don't Fear the Reaper, and they play ETI, which is Extraterrestrial Intelligence, they play, Godzilla obviously is not really a scary song, but hey, it's Godzilla, monster. And, they do a really cool cover of The Animals, We Gotta Get Out of This Place. So it's just a cool album. I love the album cover. I mean, if for nothing else, to have this out on your display case while you're playing it makes it really work for the Halloween season. So, but I just like Blue Oyster Cult a lot. And I've always really enjoyed this live album, and the pops and the fizzes and the not fantastic production quality to these live. This is mostly recorded in the US and in England, and I'm not sure exactly where, but there's only 7 tracks. They put out more when they released the CD version, but it's just a really good album. The musicianship is great. The singing is great. It's kind of, distant sounding because it's live and recorded in 78, 77, whenever they recorded it. It came out in 78. And it's just the Blue Oyster Cult. So it's a good, put this on and kind of chill out. Definitely can help get you kind of in the mood for Halloween. Okay, so third and last for this video. September 1975, ELO released their 5th album, Face the Music. This album, as a child, used to terrify me. Now, mostly that's because of my father, because my dad would put this on, he would dim the lights, he would sit me on the couch and force me to hold this album cover in my hand, looking at this picture, while listening to Fire on High, one of, if not the greatest acoustic song ever written. The way this thing starts with the weird backmasking and the that looked really stupid if you don't know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you might be like, it wasn't a bad try. But anyway, this album is just beautiful. At some point, I would really like to do a deep dive on some ELO albums, because I think Jeff Lynne is a genius, and I grew up listening to Jeff Lynne a bunch, a whole bunch. And I love all of their albums pretty much. I love their progression. I mean, how scary is that? The hand strapped to the electric chair. God bless it, this is a good album. But you have Evil Woman, Evil, Halloween. Let's see here. Night Rider, Waterfall is a fantastic song. Also, we got Strange Magic, and One Summer Dream is one of my favorites as well. Just a great album. This was the album where they started to ditch a little bit of that electronic orchestral sound that they were so famous for, and started getting a little bit more pop heavy and radio friendly. And it doesn't matter, it's still fantastic music. The album cover, front, back, and inside, are all spooky. I'm telling you, Fire on High, crank that up with some good headphones. You'll get your scares going really, really quick. Tell you what, if you have small kids, do it. Hand them this, put it on really loud, and force them to look at this guy right here, Jeff, and all these other spooky men in green, as they listen to ELO's Face the Music. Anyway, I would love to hear what albums you like to jam to kind of set the mood and the ambiance for this next month or so that we have with Halloween. So I'll be jumping back on in the near future with more albums, because I have a bunch. I've got some cool like Disney old spooky ones and stuff like that I want to show you guys. But for now, there we go. Please show us some of your spooky albums that help you set the mood and the tone. Talk to you later.